In this lecture, I wanted to add a few words about text. And then I wanted to talk about fonts, which is something we really haven't discussed and is one of the things that can make your book cover pop. So let's go over to PowerPoint. And while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and insert a blank slide. Now, I want to show you kind of two ways to do text, and then I want to go out on the internet and start looking for free fonts that we can load that are really wild. First step, let's insert a text box. So I go here and I say insert, and I click and I type text box. There we go. Now let's make this font a little larger. So we'll go to home, and here I can click up on the size and maybe get it to like, 60 isn't bad. Now suppose that I have images and stuff behind it that I want to make this text pop because of. I might put, for instance, let's make it not pop by going to the background, formatting the background, and putting in a solid dark color. So we'll go for a dark blue. Now you can see our text is almost disappearing. So what we do is we use a text box, right? So I insert a shape. Where'd it go? There it is. Shape. And rectangles are the most common. I'll pull this shape around the text box. Now, the text box disappears because the shape is on top of it. So I right click and I say send to back. And now I've got, let's make this text box a white. So shape fill white, and it doesn't really need a border. So let's make the outline no outline. There we go. So now our text is really popping. But the problem with this technique is that if I move the box around, the text doesn't move with it. The neat part about this is that I can do things like have the text partially out of the box, things like that. And of course, we know the solution to this problem. We take the box, we hit Shift, and we click on the text, and up comes our menu. Both are selected now, and we say group. Now they're a group, and I can move them together. Now there's actually a simpler way to do this than what I just did, and that is if I insert a shape, a rectangle, and I pull it about this size, and I make it white with no outline, I can actually put text in it by clicking on it and typing. There, I said text in shape, and unfortunately my text appears to be, okay, let's select it and make that text fill black. The outline, I don't think it needs an outline, but the size of the text definitely needs to be up there. So let's go about that size. Now, the neat part about this is that as I pull the box around, the text moves with it. And if I change the box size, the text stays in the center because notice it's centered here. If I make it left justified, then it'll be to the left of the box, right justified to the right of the box. And if I move the box around and change the size of the box at all, it maintains that for me. This, not so well, as you can see. The text is top centered and it doesn't really, it's because I've got to move the text separately if I want it in the upper left and so on, because these are two separate elements. Now the neat part is that I can separate them and I can treat the text and the box separately and then go and grab them as a unit and move them together. So this is a neat technique for that. This is neat because they're all in one thing. Okay, I can, let's see, put the text left, and then here I think is, no, where's text alignment? There we go. Align text to the top, or I can align it to the bottom in the middle, and so on. Or I can center it, which is the most common way to do text in a box. There we go, text in the middle. So that's two ways to do text. Either put a box behind it and then make them a group, or insert a shape and put text in it. They kind of produce the same results. They have slightly different capabilities and annoyances. So you mess with the two and decide which one you like the most. Now, the one thing that I did want to add is adding fonts to the Windows operating system. I'm going to go back over here to my browser, and I'm going to open a brand new tab. And in that, I'm going to go to a place called Dafont, DAFONT.com. Now, this is an online site for fonts, and many of those fonts are free. Actually, they're all free, but some of them are kind of shareware, and some of them say you should only use them for this and not for that. And I try to honor what they say, but in reality, I doubt very much that the font police are going to come and grab you if you misuse one of their fonts. So anyway, here, check out these. Oh, Archer. Wow, that's really neat. Now, check out over on the right where it tells you the uses. So this is free for personal use, and so on. But many of the fonts, let's go to cartoon. So you get to pick out the types of cartoons. This is free for personal use. This is shareware, which means that you should contribute to it, but you don't necessarily have to. And then the type that I like is, where is one? Here's one that doesn't say any usage on it, so you can use it for anything you want. And then I like the 100% free ones. Those people are saying, just go ahead and take it. Now, let's go up to the top and look at these different fonts that you can select. Techno, Square. How about medieval fonts? Oh, Old London. That's really nice. This is 100% free. So let's say we want to use Old London in PowerPoint to make book covers. Now, in reality, we're going to be able to use it in Word and any other Windows-based application once we load it. So what you do is you download the font. Here it's asking, where do you want to download oldlondon.zip? And we go to my downloads directory, and we say save. And the downloads are usually pretty quick. Here it's done already. Now I go and I say open. That opens the font file, and we can see all of the TrueType things here. So what we do then is we double click on the TrueType font, and it opens it, and it shows you the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog and the numbers in the various sizes of the font. So it really gives you a good idea of what the font looks like. If I like that, I click install. And here we go. That was it. This font is now installed on my Windows operating system. Now let's go back over to PowerPoint and see if it's shown up. You might have to reboot PowerPoint. Or restart PowerPoint. I don't quite remember. So the font was called Old London, I believe. So let's go down to Old English Text. Was that it? No, wait, what did we just load? No, it's called Old London. So what we're probably going to have to do is quit and restart. So let's go ahead and save what we've got, and then we'll quit PowerPoint, and I'll restart it again. We'll go and open our book covers, and let's see if it popped up now. So we go to here, select some text, and see if Old London is here. You're in alphabetical order. And there it is. Old London has now appeared, and I can use this font in any of my book covers. So that's loading fonts. And once again, if you come back to look at some of these fonts, they're really quite amazing. This is 100% free. Cardinal, Flesh Wound, wow, for personal use. This is 100% free. Black Family, 100% free. So go and scan. Use the top to pick categories here. Categories, so here's a groovy font. Here's curly fonts. Foreign look, here's Mexican and Russian and techno, gothic fonts, basic. Script dingbats is just weird characters. What do they got here? Horror characters. Oh, there you go. So in dingbats, you can actually get skulls and so on. 100% free. So you can download these fonts and incorporate them into your book covers. That's text and fonts. 2 ways to do text. Text box with a box behind it or not, and a image with text in it. And then we can load fonts off Dafont, DAFONT.com. I'll see you in the next lecture where we're going to pull everything together. The next lecture is the big, let's use everything we've learned to make an exciting book cover lecture. I'll see you there.